Peskin, and I'm a member of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, which is the lawmaking branch of our wonderful city of San Francisco. We have 11 members who are elected from different parts of the city, and together we are the legislative branch of the government. What I've come to realize is one of the most special places, not only in San Francisco, but in this country, and that's San Francisco's Chinatown. Of the very long, rich organizational history of Chinatown, been a community that's been easier for me to serve. And I'll tell you why. When you have organizations like the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association or the Chinatown Community Development Center that have, in some cases, histories that are 150 years, in some cases, histories that are 40 years, they are very organized and they know what they want. They know how the system works. It was easy for me because they had a plan. They had a concept. If other communities in San Francisco follow the model of the level of organization and collaboration that happens in Chinatown, other neighborhoods would be healthier. Which is not to say that there are not conflicts in Chinatown. There are, but there are conflicts everywhere. But it's amazing that organizations will put their differences aside for the better health of the community. And in some ways, that's also because the Chinese culture has a concept of a collective culture, and the American culture is a much more individualistic culture. So, I mean, there are cultural lessons to be learned there. There are many instances in our history in America where this country, because of the irresponsible words of leaders, act out hate on the streets. Because you had Donald Trump calling this the Chinese, plague or flu, and all of these crazy individualistic, violent American people decided they were going to take it out on Asian people, and that was the beginning of Asian hate. And again, the community led the way. They knew exactly what they needed and they wanted obviously more police enforcement, obviously more cameras so we could make cases. And so then my job was very clear. I had to go to the chief of police and the captain of Central Station, and not just to have police, but to have Chinese police who speak Cantonese, which is largely the language of Chinatown. And today we have one of the greatest Chinatown beat officer units that we've had since I was first elected. Things are back to normal. I feel safer in Chinatown than I do anywhere else in San Francisco. So I think that part of our collective responsibility was to send a message that Chinatown was being particularly well protected, right? Because it also sent the message to other parts of the city that the government and the elected officials and the police cared about the Chinese American and Asian American communities. We have to do more to grow our police department, to hire more Asian officers. None of that happens overnight. In Israel and Hamas on the other side of the world, and it has led to local hateful behavior against Jewish people. And so I have now gotten at my home 3 separate terrible, postcards, which is unsettling, and I'm not going to let it change my life. But what's most important is that I have support. I have support from my colleagues. I have support from the community. And that is also the most important thing when there are instances of violence, or even not even physical violence, but statements of hatred. They are meant to intimidate. I will not be intimidated. I don't want to allow myself or my constituents to live in fear.